so here's another little intersection update. I also wanted to kind of release it around the same time as my new IMSA article, which I just was featured in when I was in Texas for the International. There it is in all of its glory. I'm going to do something I don't normally do here. There we go. I don't have the hat on right now, but that's me in the article, and yeah, they have the article online, and I'm gonna get a couple extra copies for the family and some friends who are interested. Said I was joking and said I would sign it as a kind of a joke, but people actually want me to do it now, so I guess it's gonna happen. So yeah, so I'm gonna stick that right here. And yeah, so I just wanted to do some updates on my basement intersection. So I'll fire it on. So one of the things I noticed with this whole disconnect is my fuses were getting a little loose, so that's why my lights weren't working, but everything electrically is good now. So right now I'm running EOS 3.02.25, but I'm going to be updating it to version 40 here shortly. So one of the newer updates that I am running here now is I'm running everything just in vehicle recall right now, and I have a button that calls up an exclusive pedestrian phase as well. I'm finally running my 3M inline 5. I did another video on it not that long ago, but I wanted to get the full video. So basically it runs with this signal over here with the through indication. So I kind of have I think I mentioned before, I have a custom flash rate for the flashing arrow. Kind of make it more, I know some of the flash rates in Quebec City and Montreal are kind of interesting, so I kind of wanted to replicate that rather than the standard flash rate that comes in the Cobalt controllers. So yeah, so that's terminating now. So it brings up the transit phase as well. So we'll bring up the transit after the overlap clears. And then I also have a logic statement currently set up that will always call up the pedestrian phase if phase 9 is on, which is the exclusive pedestrian phase. And then it runs an LPI. You know what I just noticed? My green arrow is burned out. So actually, I'm gonna quickly change that right now, and then we're just gonna keep filming as if nothing happened. Okay, so after like 3 lamp changes, I'm like, okay, all these can't be dead. So they have these old dimmers in them, right? And sometimes they go bad. So they have a little the green, this wire here goes to the green. This goes out to the socket, which goes to the lamp, and then it comes back, feeds the lamp obviously, and then comes back on the neutral. So you can basically remove the dimmer. So this is dead, not doing anything now, so I can kind of like tuck that away. No power on that. It's just, there we go. Oops. And then you can take this wire here, and you can put it right on that. Which which gives it direct power rather than going through the dimmer. It goes right to the lamp itself. So that's disconnected now. So what we'll do now is we're going to test it before we put it back together. So right now I have the lights in stop time, and I have it in manual mode so I can skip through it a little bit quicker. So I usually, I got my signals on off, my auto flash for the police panel, then auto manual. And it looks more like manuel because it's a electromega cabinet, so they spelled it the French way. So and I don't have short yellow clearance issues on this because I bypassed that on the monitor, so I can make this thing do whatever I want. Hey, there it is. So it wasn't the lamp at all. It was actually the old dimmer. So now you can see that it's on. And we can skip the phase. Yellow, red, walk, FYA, and clearance. Yellow, red, overlap, yellow, red. And then we're gonna zoom out, and we're gonna go walk. What phase are we on now? Actually, no, we're trying to bring up 9 is on right now. Actually, now it's not even skipping forward. Isn't that interesting? Let's put it back into auto for a second. And take it out of stop time. Okay. Oh yeah, you know what it is because I typically omit this phase. Just because it's you have to bring it up. It just brings it up with logic statements. There's that. Three. So 7. Yeah. So 7 comes up with this phase. So manual control. So if you can see that there, it says manual control, and actually it's going to stay in stop. Well, stopped. Not stop time, but it's going to stay stopped. So what we'll do now is we're going to put this back in. We'll make sure that that is all the way in. And that's going to make sure that that's all the way in, which it is. So then I'm gonna put this right here. So it's a flat blade, which isn't great, but this thing is old, so it's kind of, it is what it is. Cool. We got it. So now, we'll close you up. You want to close these wing nuts. Make sure it's on there half decent. Well, in the field, obviously, you want that tight, but in the basement, I'm not really getting too much for wind down here, so. And then, so here are my extra 3M lamps. So these are original halogen bulbs. And you can see that they have, you can't really see it too good here, made for 3M. So 150 watts. So they have basically your hot and your neutral terminals, and then the third one is for your dim. And then apparently the new McCains, which make LED lamps for the McCain PVs, the new versions of them are now dimmable again, which is kind of cool. I just found that out. Okay, so there we go. So now we can go back over here and revert this back to auto, and then you're going to see on the screen here, back to TBC free, and then I'm going to put my magazine back up here so we can see it. So there, now it's going back into full operation. Here we go, screensaver mode. So we'll bring up the buttons. So there we go, there's that one. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna hit this button. So I have the ping pong on that, but the sounds are different lengths because they're two different versions of the button, so it kind of gets a little off. So I need to update the sounds on that button over there because that has some weird Canadian standard on it that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But these ones here are good. So now we're back in this mode. Actually, so here we're actually, since I think I might have messed it up. So I'm going to put it into flash. Alright, now we're going to cycle the phases again. It didn't cycle them properly when I was messing with it. Okay, so what we're going to do now so now it's bringing up the exclusive pedestrian phase, as well as the transit. And then it will also double serve in phase 4. When it's not cycling the phases, it will actually carry over to phase 4. Alright, so now we're counting down again. So here we're going to bring up all the phases again. So this one we'll always call the exclusive pedestrian phase. So as you can see, 9 is in there. I think that's because I have it trying to omit 9 for some reason. So let's call it a different phase. Should have power cycled it. Well, no, I did power cycle it. Or did I? No, I didn't. I've had it doing that where I've been playing with the programming, and I don't know if I've just out-logic statement this thing, but it will throw itself into a cycle fail occasionally, and I've never had it do that before, but it just kind of started doing it. So I'm gonna wait for the preemption to disappear. There it is. So it's gonna go into 7 and 9. for it to clear. Send 2 comes up. And it's going to do its LTI. And you can see that now it's in TBC free. So we're going to wait for this to clear, put it back into green rest. Alright, so now it's going back to its standard recalls. So it always calls up 7 and 9, even without the ped phase, so it can just kind of run them together because they're in the same ring and barrier. So I just threw the recall on it just to kind of keep things moving, so I don't always have to press the button. And then the logic statement always brings up the ped sign coming out of phase 9. So now I'm going to bring up that. Which it has a locking call on 9, but a non-locking call on 2, because when you lock this one, it actually holds it as a call, not a lock. So it's like, once the board sees the button push, it will actually hold the call on. So yeah, now you've seen it change to an L for lock, because now the call has dropped. So if I get into 9 first, it won't bring up 2 later, because the call can, it's non-locking. So there, now it's carrying over to that. So I'm going to bring up all of these. So whenever I hold down those buttons, it seems to skip 4, but then see how 6 isn't coming up? It's almost like when you do bring up a certain phase, it's just like it skips it, and then it kind of throws it into kind of a weird frenzy. So it's like, so if I show you the sequence, here's the, it's 1, 5, 2, 6, 3, 10, which is the carryover, which is the overlap, 9 and 7, 4 and 8, but it's almost like it skips it after. But I have, if you go to the timing plan and go to 9, it does carry over to 4, but I've never had that issue with that. So I might go into phase option. Let's just, let's get rid of 9, shut her down, sequence fault. Oh yeah, let's go to 271, 271. I wonder if I like, why is it doing that? Maybe I go 79. Yeah, there we go. That could have been part of it too, but yeah, now it seems to, it's stuck. So if I go to, yeah, I think I gotta update this version. It just does some weird stuff sometimes. So let's shut her down, bring her back. It's weird that it seems to be bringing up ped phases that don't exist. Like, I don't actually have anything programmed for 3, so I'm wondering if this is just like a weird version. I think I just need to update my version of EOS on this, because it's just been doing some weird stuff lately. So let's leave the exclusive phase off for now, and we'll watch it go through again. So that's just a little bit of the inside of that. Yeah, because I got a bunch of, I mean, I'm making this do a bunch of weird stuff, but like the thing is like, it's been working fine. So I don't know why it just kind of wants to act up on me now. But we'll leave phase 9 off. Clearly I need to kind of go over the logic statements, but I honestly think it's something weird with the version, so I'm gonna update that to version 40 to see if it fixes it. But I'm always kind of playing around. This is why I do all the tests and stuff like that in the shop or in the basement before anything actually gets rolled out into the street. And you know, it's always a learning experience kind of thing. But let's go, let's keep looking at the lights. I wanted to thank Jared as well for getting me Vantage Radius. Now I'll have to see if I can score CCU to get this bad boy working. So there's my Econolite Bullseye. That's the one I got on Portland Street locally. Nair Grooveback Ped. Got my Flatback Eagle Dogbone. That's my 3M over there that I picked up in Ohio back in 2019. Siemens Meller. My Econolite Bubbleback with it does have kind of a weird 2-section small backplate on it. It's actually a Fortran, but I was able to make it fit on this thing just to make it look kind of cool. Very Vancouver styles. McCain PV, another Fortran back there with the black doors on it with the bicycle signal. And then this one here is kind of a mix of the it's Grooveback Fortran GE, and then that ASI weird pedestrian signal that's like it's incandescent, but it's bimodal, I guess, like bimodal with air quotes. And then my LFE inline 5, which is just a bunch of, well, 4 of them were individual head sections I got from Manitoba, and then the 5th section I got, I think, last year at OSM. Slapped it on there to, of course, do the red arrow, do it like Dieppe in, I guess, now Charlottetown styles. And then this one here is kind of a mix of the, I want to say it's Chapel Hill. I can't remember. I know there's a bunch of them that are the same. And then, of course, my Winkomatic. I kind of based this off of a weird light that I saw on Google Maps, where it's like the 16-inch ped with the 12-inch countdown. I don't know, I thought it was kind of funny, but I wanted to kind of replicate it. And then I got my McCain, older style McCain ped with the yellow visors. I just put those on because that's, I mean, that was all I had left, but I think it looks kind of cool. And then over here is another flatback. You can see the different sized lenses. It's 9-inch ped with my walk, don't walk lenses. The body could be in better shape, but it's I kind of like that off the street vibes. And then over here is my 8.8 Municipal. This is actually how it was mounted in the Montreal subway. It had a amber ball and an amber arrow. And I think it was some kind of weird warning beacon, maybe for like a walkway or for where the subway trains were going through. I threw these German lenses, the Wait Walk, in there. I thought they were kind of cool. Yeah, so there's that one, and then there's my Municipal that's over here, which has the square red and then pixelated diamond yellow, which is very uncommon, but I'm glad to have one. And then pixelated green to kind of keep the vibe going, I guess. And then over here, this one here, oh man, I think this is actually an Econolite, and that's a 9.9 pedestrian signal that I got from Matt at OSM this year. It just needs some visors. Of course over here I know the lenses don't match the signal, but I like the smiley lenses and I like the command lenses in the Eagle-X. Eventually maybe I'll get like a Kraus-Heinz fixed 4-way, but for now this is what I got. Obviously not as easy for me to get them here in Canada. This one here is lens and body appropriate. And the reason it has the fast flash, it has Sean's fast flasher in it, and I accidentally busted one of the slow flashers. That was the last one I had, so I just put the fast flasher in it, but no, whatever, I'm just gonna leave it. And then over here is the art project, Canadian style incandescent bimodal ped that Sean helped make for me. I'm kind of doing the horizontal like styles, I guess, like you would have seen back in the day in Vancouver. And then of course the Canadian doghouse made out of 4 transections. Over here is some more GEs. You know what, sorry, these ones actually I think are the 4 trans, I want to say. I feel like Mitchell or someone can correct me. I'm sure there's something I'm missing at the latches or something, but anyway, groove backs, we'll say. But the bottom section's actually an LFE, but on the front, like, you're not really going to tell, but like you can tell by kind of the way the door is. But that was the last section like that I had, kind of like a Frankensignal styles. So coming over here, we have the oh my goodness, MPS. No, it's MPS, LPS. I get them confused, but it's the oh man, I'm having a brain fart. This one is the, why do I forget what this one's called? I am having a moment here. It will come back to me. I know it's like a light that you'd see in like New York back in the day. Not New York City specifically. There's like the MPS 20 and the LPS 20. But this one here wasn't used specifically in New York City, but I believe it was in the state. And then of course right here is the another Econolite bubble back, just a ped with like Toronto styles visors on it. And individual hand man, which is kind of cool. And then moving over here, we have my, brighten this up a bit. We have my 4-section municipal Symbolite from the town of New Glasgow. This section here was originally square, and they used to do the fast flash green ball, but then at some point they must have had a spare door, swapped it out, which is why this one's in a little bit better shape than those. They put an arrow in it, and then I made it into the flashing yellow arrow style. And then of course my pride and joy, the classic GE Gentral, with my custom white tape job around it I did years ago. So this one here does have all the original lenses. I do still have the green ball in the other room, but I've been doing the fiber optic arrow with the Quebec square to circle adapter, using the old configuration for protected left signals for the Quebec styles. And but I like the configuration, so I'm not planning on changing that anytime soon. And then down here is the, it's actually a Siemens signal. It used to be like the Eagle Mark IV housings, but I guess now it's Siemens. It's a 6-section. Heavy as all anything. And I'm doing the through left, right arrows. Of course, I fast flashed the left arrows for this. And I got my custom strobes for the reds that were actual strobes at one point, but they broke. So Sean, again, thank you, Sean, helped make the LED replacement versions of them. And they work fine. And then over here is, of course, back to the inline 5 3M, which I finally put together with the parts I got from Phil at OSM this year. Thank you, Phil. And now we can actually watch this work with the right arrow, which looks really nice. And to the right of that is the lane control signal from the McDonald Bridge before they did the big lift back in the fiber optic days. I scored one of those at the scrapyard, and it is a really cool signal. I have a custom board in there from, you guessed it, from Sean, and he kind of custom built it so it works in the way that the McDonald Bridge signals work, with the arrow, slow flashing yellow arrow to tell you to change lanes. Some configurations just use a flashing red X, but this one actually has, I guess you would call it trimodal, and then of course a solid red X in this case that is used for, so don't use this lane. And then over here, right above it, I have an MS Sedco intersector sensor that I'll hook up at some point. And then I have this weird Chinese signal, yellow and black section I got from Alex at iTerrace. And I just put the round handman and a Toronto-style countdown timer in it. And then my toy traffic light with the flashing sockets. If they're on for too long, they start flashing. But I did actually hook it up as a real traffic light, which is kind of fun. And then over here is the, oh man, Garbarini. It has some weird name, but it's a old bicycle signal used in France. And then of course the Kraus Heinz Art Deco White Walk Ped, one of my favorites. Got some navigators over here. ICC ped with custom walk don't walk LEDs, converted from neon since they were broken. And then over here, another dog bone signal, Econolite 128812. They are bullseyes, square door of course, another one from Matt. And this one runs my LTI as well, so you're gonna kind of get a zoomed out version of this here. So I got my walk. Incandescent, which is really nice. I had an extra lens I was able to throw in there. And that one works real good. Alright, so we got phase 4 coming up after here. And 3 is coming on, 4 is coming up next with 8. Yeah, there's our kind of our custom walk, don't walk guy. I think it looks pretty good still. And then out here we have, oh yeah, I forgot about this one. I think this is another ICC with the Canadian Handman that I got from Robert out west, and thank you, Robert, for sending that to me. Yeah, that one works really cool, and those lenses, the LEDs are becoming quite uncommon now. And then here I have another groove back flasher section, Siemens Mark IV beacon, and Econolite, just the old smooth back. They kind of look like McCain's, but they're actually Econolite. And then I just kind of stuck my extra 4-section backplate over that for just, it's not for that signal, but I just did it anyway. Yeah, and I got the diamond lens on that. Back into here, and then I have some gray groove backs that run my countdown timer clock. You can have one guess to guess who made that for me. Yeah, and back into here, I have some future plans for this cabinet to do some peer-to-peer with the Cobalt. Electromechanical, I'm going to do something with that. That's just spare parts in that. But I think I covered all of my signals. Oh, I guess my railroad signals, I think they're safe trans. Oh, and my F signal, I think that's also, it is also a groove back. Yeah, I have a lot of groove backs, which is great because those are becoming uncommon as well. But yeah, that's my signals. Happy to be featured in the magazine. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad more people can kind of, you know, be exposed to traffic signals as a hobby. I still love it. It's very, very cool. It's just a lot of fun, and people appreciate it. And you know, just a lot of work goes into making this stuff work. And yeah, this all I can say is that if I ever have to move, yeah, you guys can just come buy it from me or something like that. But yeah, I'm never moving again. Yeah, so anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this longer iteration of my basement videos, kind of talking about the controllers, the types of signals I have, kind of troubleshooted a couple things, troubleshot, whatever, a couple things with me, with my controller, getting my 3M to work, and just overall looking at everything here. So yeah, there you go. If you guys want to see anything else down the road, any particular, you know, zoom in on certain signals, certain whatever, we certainly can. And I guess we'll finish off with the, oh my god, this old girl here. I am having a brain fart tonight. Streamline. Wow, there you go. My old Streamline with my German please wait lens on it, with custom blue LED. Guess who? And that is it. So anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me. Have a good one, guys. I played around with my logic statements here. Here, I'm gonna show the this stuff here first. Yeah, for my special sequence. Right back to green, and then of course.
Train is approaching. Clear tracks immediately.
Back to flashing yellow arrow. Okay, yeah, so basically I was able to figure out, I adjusted some logic statements and some omit logic. Some of it wasn't correct, which is why the phases were not coming up properly and it was going into a cycle fail. So now 7 and 9 are on. I have the carryover on, which is proper. And I updated the logic, so if 9 and 7, or I guess if phase 9 is timing and the walk is not on, it won't call 4. So you can see it carrying over its state. Now it's staying in walk and right into phase 4, where before it was kind of clearing in advance. You can see that as the omit, and then you can see the L for 6. Back to our standard phasing again. So there we go, I was able to figure out the cycle fail. There you go.